Welcome back to Married to Marriage. I'm your host, Kaila.
And I'm the husband, Antjuan.
We are coming back to you with another episode today.
Yep.
We are so excited to be doing it once again. I think this is part of my favorite nighttime things that we do now.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it was probably one of the things I dreaded the most.
Yeah.
I think, like, the thought of it.
What's the third days is Wednesday? When we start Sunday or Monday?
Sunday.
4 days?
4 days.
Oh my God.
And I haven't complained yet.
I hope you don't.
Anyway, I was doing my daily scroll through the socials, and I stumbled upon a question that I thought was really interesting. And I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I haven't asked him this question yet, so it'll be a surprise. But
are you tired?
A little bit.
I'm tired too.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
Yeah, that's why we got our.
Thanks for making this happen.
No problem.
I know it takes a lot for you to make this happen. Because I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, sheesh, tomorrow's gonna be a long day too. But I'm glad you
pushed through and persevered,
making it happen.
Persevered.
Yeah.
It was a interesting night with our kids tonight.
Yeah.
We'll just say
real situation.
Yeah. And it kind of drained us both.
Yeah. We didn't regret anything.
No regrets.
Okay, you didn't?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
I also didn't have as big of a role though.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good.
So the question was, if you woke up tomorrow and the year was 2005 and you realized that this had all been a coma dream, what's the first thing that you would do?
Jeez, 2005, that's graduation year for us.
I feel like you can only really ask this question in your relationship. I guess put it in the year that attributes to you, because 2005 clearly was a big monumental year for us. The original question I asked was asked by someone older and they said 1995, but like we were like what?
Yeah.
Young, so would have meant nothing for us. And I guess if you're not in your 30s, can you even answer this question?
Probably not. I know several people who wasn't even existing.
I had no idea.
I want to say I would try to come find you.
Stop it. That was my answer.
You're such a phony. I would want to say that.
You would. But
I was probably going to shock a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to shock just a little bit. But 2005, I was broke. Didn't have no car.
2005, you were in high school.
My Nokia might have been off again. My phone.
Mm-hmm.
Phone was off and on again. So
you were in fake love in 2005.
Some fake love.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Breaking up, breaking on. Yeah, I don't know. I know I would definitely try to find you, but Florida would have felt like trying to go to Mars. Would have been difficult. What would be your answer?
I think that the first thing I would do if I woke up and it was 2005 again would be asking who the heck let me stay in a coma for that long.
It's good.
Because you know my feeling towards it.
Yeah.
If I'm in a coma,
pull the plug.
No more than 60 days.
Whoa, 60 days now?
I pushed it to 60 because you and my mom were like, that's kind of nuts. My original was 30 days. If God can't work a miracle by the 29th day, I'm supposed to be in heaven. Like, pull the plug. Don't sit there and suffer, you and my children, thinking that I'm going to come back.
I'll put you in the basement.
See,
I'm pretty sure cryo technology would be a real situation.
That'd be so weird.
Keep the skin, AI you. Like, there's ways around this.
Anyhow,
Neuralink would be, we're just tapping into your brain so you can talk to us through the computer.
That'd be weird.
That'd be a real situation though.
That's real love right there. Yeah, that you would try to figure that out for me.
Married a chief technology officer, so.
A nerd. I married a nerd. But I do think the first thing I would ask is who the heck let me stay in a coma long enough for me to be able to dream the past 18 years.
Yeah.
And then I would try to find you and figure it out. But I think that if I already knew the steps of how we met,
yeah,
even though I hated the college in which I went to, and all the things that happened, I would go through them all again if it meant that I would be able to meet you.
See, you would have something to lose. You would have to dread going back and doing the whole thing. I would have to just wait in my mom's room, my mom's house, in my bedroom, making some beats on Fruity Loops. Waiting to hit the jackpot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would do it all again.
Yeah.
Just to try to find you. Yeah. But that was my question for this evening. It just thought it was very interesting when I read it, because obviously my first thought was I would find Antjuan. I would do it all again just to find you and to have the little life that we have, but to be able to make sure we made them kids that we have.
Well, I think that would be the only thing is I couldn't spot date the same day. We wouldn't get the same Duke. Everything would change.
You think so?
Yeah, because if you know what would happen to your father, you would want to have a baby sooner.
Shoot, I sure would have.
One of my biggest regrets is not marrying you sooner. So I probably would have married you as soon as I seen you.
True.
And we would have had Duke a year later.
He'd be 18 right now.
So he could be driving somebody around right now.
Oh, you're right.
Taking over the company.
Change.
Yeah.
You're right. Because if I did know what was going to happen with my dad, first of all, everything would have been different.
Yeah.
We would have got married so much sooner. I would have made him a grandfather.
We met when we was 18, 19, got married 25, 26.
We would have got married 21.
Yeah.
I'd have given that kid as many grandkids as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Ooh. Now we're thinking of movies. It would not be the same.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know now. That's so true. Do you warn the people that you know that things are happening to before they happen because you've seen them happen? Or is it just a dream that you had and maybe you're not even, like, this isn't real? How would you know that I was actually somebody that you could meet? It's just a dream for you. You're waking up from a coma. You're like, whoa, what a crazy dream I had. And then you turn into your high school girlfriend. Like, does the dream start to dissipate as days go by? Do you think until you actually, like, if it were to come true and then we actually were to spot each other, will we know?
We should.
Well, but only one of us was in the coma with the coma dream. So then how do I try to convince you that I'm the love of your life?
I've actually had that happen before. So I would probably end up turning you down. Especially if it's, God told me you were supposed to be my husband. That probably wasn't going to be a real thing.
What do you think? Like, because only one of us, if you're waking up from a coma, I'm not in the coma.
But if you told me that, I would probably believe you.
If you told me that, I would have thought you were psycho.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I go back to that mindset of being 18, 19 again.
So what I would do, though, this is turning of the table. I would say, I can prove it to you.
I don't know.
Watch it with no Facebook.
Okay, here's the thing. There was no Facebook then. But here's the thing. Had I had a dream about all the terrible things that I was going to go through in college, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't apply to that college.
To find me, you have to go through the storm.
Yeah, but like...
So wait, so you wouldn't? What are we doing?
What I'm saying, like, if I'm thinking about it realistically, you're not in the coma. You have no idea who I am. You didn't dream me up. I dreamed about you.
So would you try to bypass going to school?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So what happened at school that you would bypass?
No, we're not getting into that here.
Yes, we are.
No,
you wanted drama, didn't you? Why would you want to bypass it? Because you said it 4 or 5 times. Now I'm like, okay, is there something else I don't know?
No. I mean, it's everything that you already...
What?
I just didn't have I went to a very conservative white...
You went to ORU...
Christian...
Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 81st and Lewis.
Whoa. But for all the people who don't know what that is, it's a very conservative... mainly Caucasian Christian Christian private college.
One of Pastor Class's partners in the future.
Was then.
Yeah.
2005, 2006.
Real ratchet.
Girls still had to wear skirts and dresses, button-up shirts. Boys couldn't wear hats.
That scarred you.
Well, first of all, that was just part of it. Like,
okay.
Who lives their life like that?
Coming from Miami, y'all were nothing. So it makes sense.
No, first of all, I didn't grow up like that. Don't let him. But also of like, it was my first interaction meeting people who had a prejudice against someone simply because of how they looked or where they were from. And I hadn't experienced that before because I grew up in a melting pot where nobody was really from the same place. No one spoke the same language. Like Spanish was Spanish was the main language and everybody else was a foreigner. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So I was a foreigner where I grew up. Moving to Oklahoma, I had an accent because I grew up in Miami. So I talk like this. So
keep it going.
So I had the accent and I didn't notice it clearly. But then when you get to Oklahoma,
you never told me you had an accent. I love that the play accent. I didn't know that was a real thing.
You gotta tell people what we be doing in private.
But you kind of dipping into my sauce right now. I'm trying to figure out why don't I get this on a regular?
Because you threw me into being a Southern girl. And I didn't know about...
I think you tiptoeing.
I am. I didn't know about...
Be real, man. Come on, sheesh, man.
Black girls being upset with other black girls. Like the skin color spectrum and like the hair different type spectrum and like all of those things. I didn't have that encounter growing up.
Okay.
There was a couple people who were darker than me, but everybody was pretty much the same color. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
baby, you're really light.
Yeah.
And everybody where you're from is really light.
Yeah. I mean, they're like...
you got Haitians.
Haitians who are darker. We had a couple Africans. We had some Indians. Like,
yeah.
But the spectrum wasn't broad enough for someone to be like, I dislike you because this is what I want to look like. I had never experienced that in my life. And so when it happened, I was just like, it was kind of a shocker. Plus having to go through like, I don't know. I never was into a guy that someone else that I knew was into. I never dated the same type of, I don't know, me and my friends didn't have the same taste. You know what I mean? So if I was getting attention from someone and someone else wanted the attention from that guy, like I'm not used to, I'm like, okay, well, have fun. Like I'm not going to play a game for this. And also kind of how when we met, I was like, if this is what you got going on or this is what you're interested in, this is what you like, is girls talking about you fighting over you, blah, blah, blah. This ain't the game for me. Don't let him. His head must get inflated.
You can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. I'm not the one in the coma here. So you would skip out on the school thing and try to go.
But I don't know if I could skip out on the school thing. However, if in my dream I remembered Miss Brenda and Mr. Tommy when they came to my church,
hitch a ride.
I still could have hitched a ride. Met Mike and Nat.
We'll say it like
then
that.
Met you. Boom. Maybe I could have bypassed all of the hurt and anger.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you went through all of that nonsense to stay committed to me.
Yeah. Okay, now roles reversed.
Yeah.
I have never had this dream. I don't know who you are. You're a random stranger. I'm dating my high school.
I would have said, I know your daddy name. I know your grandpa.
Whoa.
I know what street they live on in Nashville.
Whoa.
Yeah, but you didn't know that. I would have been Miss Cleo on 10. I would have psyched your mind all the way out. You would have been like, this gotta be God.
I would have been like, this gotta be a stalker.
No, I'm not that smart. I didn't go to, I got nothing. I would I've told you things that would have blown your mind. I would have got you quick, boy. I would have blown your mind.
Okay, but thinking back now, let's say it's January 2005.
Okay.
And you just woke up from your fever coma dream. You know in this dream that you graduated with a 1.97.
So?
Do you try to save yourself and go back to school January 23rd and be like, you know what?
I have a superpower. What are we talking about? I have the ability to be psychokinetic. I can tell your future. No prophetess has nothing on me right now. What are we doing? Okay. I know what church, I know what high school you went to. I know.
But this isn't just about me. It's about everybody around you. Do you then tell your best friend at the moment?
I tell everybody, watch.
You about to be the minister of a church?
Record. Watch me before.
I never thought about this aspect of it.
Before virality.
Like telling everybody what I saw in my dream.
But it needs to be on camera though, because I need to blow everybody away.
See, that's not what crossed my mind, not one bit.
That's how I would do it.
That's crazy. You a scammer. You a scammer.
You better use it. Before a scam became really scam, like, I'm your man.
But that would be crazy because there was really no social media then.
No social media.
Like, we was coding our own stuff on MySpace.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
We were still using landlines.
Yeah, nah. I already got it. I'm good. Next topic. I got this one.
That's crazy. So to you guys out there, if you were to wake up from a coma fever dream, what's the first thing you're going to do? It's the year's 2005. If you're watching this and you're in your 30s, close to 40s.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2005. If you're older than us, it's 1995. If you're younger than us, it's 2015. You wake up, crazy, right? You wake up from your coma. You realize that you've had a coma dream for the past 18 years, 20 something years, 10 years, whatever. What's the first thing you're going to do?